I am a Black recipient on the Ontario Disability Support Program, ODSP, living in the Parkdale neighborhood. I am speaking out anonymously because I am a victim of systemic racial profiling, bureaucratic gaslighting, and institutional neglect by my local social assistance office. The system has manipulated my files behind my back, stripped away my survival income, and left me facing immediate eviction, all while I was dealing with severe health complications, hospital stays, and a mental health evaluation. The local ODSP branch has operated in complete bad faith, weaponizing administrative errors against me while actively denying me emergency service. Racial profiling and fabricated data. The system cross-referenced old, irrelevant employment records from years ago to falsely claim my recent income was dramatically higher than it actually is. Instead of verifying the facts, workers rubber-stamped this inflated data, racially profiling me as a fraudulent file rather than treating me as an individual in need of support. The secret clawbacks. While I was hospitalized and medically incapacitated during a mental health crisis, the office snuck a massive overpayment onto my file without my knowledge. They began aggressively clawing money straight out of my monthly disability checks behind my back, completely violating the Ontario Human Rights Code's duty to accommodate a medical crisis. Manufactured eviction crisis. By aggressively draining my monthly checks while simultaneously undercalculating my external government housing subsidies based on their fake income data. The system deliberately broke my personal finances. They caused my primary rent payments to bounce, manufacturing a massive debt crisis that has now forced me into active eviction proceedings with my landlord. 8 months of institutional silence. For 8 consecutive months, I desperately attempted to contact my caseworker to fix these errors. I was completely ignored. My messages were unreturned, my phone calls went unanswered, and my file was left to rot while my housing security collapsed. The cover-up and digital gatekeeping. When I physically went to the office, in an absolute housing and medical emergency, to demand my records, the caseworker and the supervisor on duty colluded to lie to me. They claimed my files were archived and refused to print my electronic system logs or hand me basic medical transit forms. This is a deliberate cover-up to hide the case activity notes that legally prove their 8 months of neglect. I have explicit, irrefutable audio recordings of these government employees admitting to withholding vital benefit information and actively denying an emergency file disclosure to a vulnerable recipient during a housing crisis. I am bringing this to light because the Parkdale ODSP office is operating like a rogue entity, profiling Black recipients, withholding legislated medical benefits, and hiding behind digital lies to cover up their administrative failures. I demand a systemic audit of this branch, an immediate freeze on all predatory file clawbacks, and accountability for the workers who are weaponizing the system to push vulnerable people onto the street.
The People 416.